Anyway, back to Fantasyland. Fox News. Over at Cluster Fox, we have Sarah Palin being interviewed by Mike Wallace. And I'm sorry, when I saw these video clips, I don't watch Fox News. Kathy has to do that. Well, she doesn't watch it either, but she gets the video clips. But when I watched this, I kept watching Mike Wallace's eyes, or Chris Wallace's eyes. And I swear to God, they kept dropping down to Sarah Palin's kneecaps or someplace. Anyway, then Wallace cut to the chase and asked her opinion, Sarah's opinion of Obama. Chris Wallace said, what do you think of Barack Obama's... God. What do you think of Barack Obama? Why doesn't he ask me? Why doesn't he ask a tree stump? Why doesn't he ask a two-legged frog? I mean, why is he asking her, what do you think of Barack Obama's presidency so far?
He has some misguided decisions that he is making that he is expecting us to just kind of sit down and shut up and accept. And many of us are not going to sit down and shut up. We're going to say, no, we do not like this perceived...
Where's he saying sit down and shut up?
In a general, just kind of his general persona, I think, that he has when he's up there at, I'll call it a lectern, when he is up there and he is telling us basically, I know best. My people here in the White House know best, and we are going to tell you that, yes, you do want this essentially nationalized health care system, and we're saying, no, we don't. And the messages are not being received by Barack Obama. So I think instead of lecturing, he needs to stop and he needs to listen. That concerns us, and we're going to speak up about it. And please don't allow this persona to continue where you do try to make us feel like we need to just sit down, shut up, and accept what you're doing to us.
Oh, my God. Sit down, shut up. Wallace says, wait. Wait. Where is he saying sit down and shut up? And Palin's answer, the ho's answer, is just classic. In a general persona, I think that he has when he's up there at I'll call it a lectern. Yeah, because she forgot to write the word podium on her ankle, I'll call it a lectern. That's a big word, Sarah. I'll call it a lectern. When he's up there telling us basically, I know best. My people in the White House know best. I'm waiting for her to say, look, Chris, look, it's the White House. What's he doing there? So, you might be thinking, what might a Palin presidency look like? Other than a cluster fork? Wallace asked, why wouldn't you run for president?
I would if I believe that is the right thing to do for our country and for the Palin family. Certainly, I would do so.
Wait, because you're basically saying you will consider it.
I think that it would be absurd to not consider what it is that I can potentially do to help our country. I don't know if it's going to be ever seeking a title, though. It may be just doing a darn good job as a reporter or covering some of the current events.
But you're going to consider. You're going to go through the process of thinking.
I won't close a door that perhaps could be open for me in the future. I don't want any American to ever close the door in their personal or their professional lives and put themselves in a box and say, heck yeah, I'm going to do that, or no way, I'm not going to do that.
No way.
We don't know what the future holds. I don't know how any of that stuff works. I don't know how they try to open a door that perhaps isn't even open. I'm just appreciative of having some good information at my fingertips.
Did you say you're more knowledgeable about domestic and foreign affairs now than you were 2 years ago?
Well, I would hope so. Yes, I am.
God, I hope so too. My puppy is more knowledgeable on foreign policy than you were 2 years ago. I can see the moon, Chris. That makes me an astronaut. Jesus, God. I think it'd be absurd to not consider what it is that I can potentially do to help our country. I don't know if it's going to be ever seeking a title. I don't know if it's going to be ever seeking a title. A title? Like heavyweight champ of the world? Or best in show? A title? It may just be doing a darn good job as a reporter. Sweetie, you're a reporter now. You already won. Last week you couldn't even spell it. Now you is one. or covering some of the current events. And then Wallace says, but you're going to consider? You're going to go through the process of thinking? I won't close the door that perhaps could be open for me in the future. I don't want any American to ever close the door on their personal or professional lives and put themselves in a box. I don't know how any of that stuff works. I don't know. Heck, I'm still trying to figure out what a vice president does. I don't know. Does anybody know what a vice... I'll ask Glenn Beck. He'll tell me. And then she says, I don't know how any of that stuff works. I don't know how they try to open a door that's cracked, if it's even open. Whoa. Son of a gun. Wait a minute. Let me get that one down. I don't know how... You
need a Sharpie?
No. I'm writing it on a piece of paper. How to open a door that's cracked, if it's even open. That's right up there with Nam Yoho Ringe Kyo, isn't it? Say that enough times. How they try to open a door that's cracked, if it's even open. How they open a door that's cracked, if it's even open. How they open a door that's cracked, if it's even open. Woo, Lord! Wallace says, would you say that you're more knowledgeable about domestic and foreign affairs now than you were 2 years ago? Well, I would hope so. You betcha. Yeah, I am. Ask me something. Well, no, don't do that. Don't ask me anything. Huh? Oh, my God. Hi, I'm Sarah Palin. How's that hopey-changey thing working for you? Here, you want to play with my hair? I see all you men out there sitting at the tables with what are those, your wives? Or did you bring your laundry along? Good God, you got some dumpy-ass looking women, boys. Ew. Well, for $100,000, I don't care. I'll talk to baskets of laundry. It doesn't matter to me. We gotta stop them from barking back there. We gotta reconstitutionalize everybody thing. Everything is not okay. Oh, Lord. Oh. Rahm Emanuel used the word retarded. I can use that, but he can't. And my good friend, the golden microphone Viagra boy, the fat man, the one that likes to, most people, up in Alaska dip snuff. He likes to dip minors. But anyway, he used retarded. Yeah.